Alright, so your first step is going to be just to Google Anaconda. Go to the Anaconda homepage and just download Anaconda. It'll take a few minutes, but it's important to note that so-vits-fork works best with NVIDIA cards on Windows 10. If you have an AMD card, you'll have to be running Linux. Open that bitch up. Go through the installation process. You can do just me for which users to install to. Do not add Anaconda 3 to your path. All these default settings should be just about good. Let this shit install. Once Anaconda is installed, you will want to open up an Anaconda prompt through your start menu and then use conda create-n. You can name this anything. so-vits-fork is what I named it. And then Python equals 3.10. That Python at the end is important. So run that command to create a virtual environment. It's sort of like a Docker container, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but this is what they tell you to do. So Y to proceed, and it'll download all of its shit. Just give it a sec. Once your environment's created, you can like activate it or whatever the hell. Conda activate so-vits-fork, and now you're inside your virtual environment. Next, you'll want to grab the installation commands from the page. So this first Python command right here, it'll go ahead, download all that shit. I'll run the second one. Now, if you have an AMD card, you will have to be doing all this on Linux, and this is where you would select your different command if you had an AMD card. There's a little note right here down here regarding that, but it's 2.6 gigabytes. It'll take a sec. Yeah, just let this shit run. And once that first command's done, or sorry, once that second command's done, you can go on to the third command. If you end up with cannot build wheels for fairsec, that's a completely normal error. You will want to scroll up just a bit, or you can find the link in the description to the MS Build tools. That is a required package for this. Let me just look this up. MS Build tools. You could probably just Google it if you don't even want to go to the description, but just hit free download. Visual Studio Setup.exe. Run that shit. Once you get to this page, want to make sure you select desktop development with C++. This one specifically, no other one. And then you can just hit install. After you install those MS Build tools and restart your computer, then all you need to do is conda activate back into your so-vits environment, and then you can run svcg. Upon first doing this, you'll see a window in the top left of your screen with a feather icon. That's normal. It's just downloading all of its data and whatnot, but eventually you'll be greeted with this page. Now this is where all the magic happens. Model path is going to be, of course, your models. You can find them in the Discord or the internet. Let's just select Biden. Now, inside of your models folder, you'll always want to select the file with the latest letter in it. So sometimes you'll see D and G. You'll always want to select G. And then you'll also want to select that config that sits next to that G file. And then your audio input. I turn off autoplay each time because it's annoying and I don't want it to autoplay. When it comes to the common box, you'll generally want to set your pitch to 0. This will sort of transpose your pitch. So if you have a low male voice to begin with, you want to set it a little higher to translate into a higher model voice, if you were to choose, but for the most of the time, 0 works the best. You can play with it though, it doesn't hurt. Auto predict seems to try to automatically predict pitches or something, but it's not very good. Play with it. This is all trial and error. I found that the creep model for auto prediction is pretty good if you are using auto prediction, but Dio is the more optimized, older, tried and true version, I believe. But for the most part, you should keep your auto predict off and just set your pitch to 0. This real-time box, we're not going to go into all of this into this tutorial, but you can set your microphone inputs and outputs so where you can convert your voice on the fly. Let's say like you're in a Discord call or something like that. You can convert your voice for the funny. Of course, you got presets down here. You can save some settings and stuff. This is mostly useful, I find, for the real-time effects whenever I want to change voices on the fly. Alright, we're going to do a quick example. So we're going to select our acapella. Of course, you want to use GPU. That'll be the fastest, and it probably sounds better. But yeah, once you have all your settings and shit selected, you got all your files, you can just hit infer. You can watch the progress in the console right here if you want, but the output path that the inference goes to will be the same as your source file. So this is my source file right here, so it'll go on my desktop once it's done. Shouldn't take too long. I've got a GTX 1060 6GB. I've noticed on the larger models sometimes I'll have to split my vocals in half because I run out of VRAM halfway through, but it's only on the larger models, like the 1 million steps. Alright, it just finished, so let's see what it sounds like.
Control. I just feel like I'm the only one not pretending I'm not out of control. I'm just not innate control. I know I'm the most.
That's Joe Biden singing St. Pablo by Kanye West. I hate myself.